Hello one all! This is my review, reaction, and content discussion to That Time I Reincarnated Slime, Season 3, Episode 23 and 24. And first off, I apologize, this video is both a week late and a day late, respectively. For those of you who didn't see my post, I had surgery last week and it kicked my butt a lot more than I was expecting. For those of you who did see the post, though, thank you for your kind words. They meant a lot to me. But let's move on past that. I'm so excited for these episodes. And to wrap up Season 3, I've already seen online that we got an announcement. Season 4 is coming out, and we're getting a second movie. Huzzah! Alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. I love they're doing this inside the Coliseum. I think it was in like a conference room, just for like nobility and royals in the light novel, but you know, the Coliseum makes way more sense. Really show off what they're selling to everyone, because this is something special. Seriously. Love that. Absolutely love. Oh, that is amazing. That was in the light novel, by the way. Brahmers really, shows off her ability to summon a giant doorway from nowhere. Dun dun dun. Oh, it's amazing. There we go. That is the salesman Molly I know and love. Thank you, Lord. Also, yes, I think I mentioned this in my last video, but Rimuru with a crown on his head is just so weird to me. I don't know why. It's such a silly crown on his head. And, yeah, what he said. The focal point of our national operations from now on, 100% accurate. 100% accurate. Seriously. Moving forward, the light novel is heavily focused on this labyrinth, and I absolutely love it. It's such a great storytelling device. There's so much they can do with it. There's so much they do with it, and just this is the first taste. I'm so happy about this. Also, I love how excited Ramos is right here. Oh, she's precious. Interesting light novel. There's they actually say who wants to challenge it, and we get a bunch of people like stepping up to volunteer. First off, Team Thunderbolts, then Ellen's team, who say we're gonna do it, and are then met immediately with the sound of Errol's father screaming somewhere in the distance before Elmisha breaks something over his head. I kid you not. And of course, Masayuki's party. Obviously them. Yeah, so these guys really wanted to compete in the whole, tournament thing, but they got stuck in traffic on the way into town and missed the deadline, which is the funniest thing in the world to me. Yeah, they are absolutely fun. Anyway, so they weren't able to compete in the tournament, and they think, oh, well, we would have won the tournament. We're the strongest in the world. And Masayuki, I mean, he's tough, yeah, but he chickened out and didn't face off against the Demon Lord. That's sickening. He literally uses the word sickening. So yeah, those guys have a very big head on their shoulders. And it's going to be very fun seeing them get humbled here. Okay, so they actually did keep that. It is so much funnier with it happening out in the open instead of, in some room in the back. What the freak is with this dude out? This big bad wolf here dressed up as a biker punk with a leather jacket. What the freak is that? Seriously? In fact, in the light novel, Rumor also gives Masayuki a rapier, because, Masayuki's big move when he's fighting is to just, hold his sword out in front of him, and that's really all he can do, because his big move is not even drawing his sword because it is too heavy for him to wield. So Rimuru gave him a very light rapier, which has a self-healing regeneration property to it, which allows Masayuki to actually draw his freaking sword. Oh, Masayuki, you are so pathetically weak. It is honestly hilarious. Of course. He decides to climb up to the top of the Coliseum just to have a dramatic entrance. Guy, this dude literally is the worst dude in this entire series. You suck so freaking much. I mean, admittedly, Ranga did play a bit dirty in how he entered the tournament, but still, you lost to him. It took one paw for Ranga to freaking crush you. That's not playing dirty, that's just you being so overwhelmingly weak. At least compared to, Rimuru's executive council, his best fighters. Though I will admit his, arrogance, pride, whatever does make sense. He is an A-ranked, he's an A-ranked adventurer. And those are rare enough where if you reach, that plateau, if you reach that point, almost everyone in the world is in fact weaker than you. What the why are you freaking out so much? They've been using these projectors, these screens for the entire freaking fighting tournament. I mean, I do get why they're emphasizing it now because it will be relevant next episode as Gazelle's gonna be mad about it because, a freaking course he is. But just so weird to really like, oh my god, this is some insane new level of magic, when it's like, yeah, no, I've been looking at these monitors, these giant projectors, for the last 2 freaking days, and only now will I be surprised about it. Yeah, it's actually important. They mentioned, we're going to sell these resurrection bracelets. In the light novel, she explained that we highly recommend you purchase these when entering the labyrinth. So this isn't a requirement. You can fully enter the labyrinth without a resurrection bracelet and then, basically guarantee your own death. That is so insanely dark what Rimuru is trying to, sell here. It's basically Disney World. Lots of scares, but no real danger, and yet he's leaving open the very real possibility that that you will actually die in this labyrinth. Yeah, strongly encourage everyone to buy one. Not we're gonna mandate you buy one, we're just gonna encourage it. I mean, that is an absolutely insane claim to make. Like, oh yeah, if you wear this, you will come back from the dead. That's, pure high level holy magic right there. So if you're actually claiming this really will work that way, we're kind of gonna need a demonstration. Yeah, there we go, Molly. He was literally just told, hey, I want you to die. And he's like, alright, I guess I'm gonna die now. Insane. Absolutely insane. Love that man. God, this man is freaking psychotic. Even worse in the light novel, where he straight up cut off Molly's arm, messed with him for a while, and then eventually cut off his freaking head. No, I'm not joking. Yes, he's that insane. Again, though, I can make certain allowance here, like, well, Sokka was about to kill him herself, so that may have been like a trick blade that like teleports you out of the room to try and hide, to try and obscure something, like, oh, I'm gonna cut him with this, he's gonna teleport it out, and everyone's thinking, oh, he was fully revived near their end. That does make some sense, but at the same time, this is psychotic. This is absolutely psychotic right here. Oh, that pure smile right there. And as you can see, I'm just fine. Like an infomercial, straight up like an infomercial right here, and I love it. That's actually a really cool feature of the bracelet. Basically, when the bracelet decides, yeah, you're about to die, it fully turns off your pain receptors. They don't actually feel yourself dying. Love that man, Molly, though. Ooh! Rimuru got mad. Rimuru got real mad because Molly is straight up his bro. And that was, like I said, absolutely freaking sadistic what he did to him. Yeah, Team Great Lightning. Yeah, they are putting no effort into navigation. They aren't even like marking the walls as they pass them because they believe that there is no way there's a labyrinth this big, like a mile across, underground. They've never seen a labyrinth that freaking large before, so they don't believe that Rimuru could have built one here and now. And the best explanation they come up with, might see it in a second, is them believing, oh, it must be illusory magic. He's making us wander in circles, which, I mean, even if that was the case, why wouldn't you at least mark the walls or something? Seriously. Well, at least that gave them a good laugh. Yeah, there's pitfalls in this labyrinth, which, as you might imagine, not the smartest design choice. I mean, I think in most games, you have a pitfall trap, it sends you down to the floor you were just on, and you have to go all the way back up again. But in a game where the point is to go down, pitfall traps don't really make a lot of sense. I mean, there are games I've played that have done that, like Izuna, Legend of the Unemployed Ninja. Great game for the DS, absolutely loved it. But that one, like, you get a pitfall trap and end up on the floor down below, but then you miss out on the chance to get all the good items on the floor above, so yeah, it still works as a bad trap, something you want to avoid for the most part. Yeah, also, Rimuru wasn't actually planning on having any pitfall traps whatsoever. That was on Ramos and Veldora. Oh, Ramos. Rimuru actually put a lot of effort into designing the first few floors. They would feel just hard enough without being too mean, and you've kind of utterly completely destroyed the balance of them. Yay! A lot. A lot of them. Yeah, exactly. The whole point is they get lost, and she installed a shortcut which she felt like was made things harder for them somehow, some way. Yeah, here we go. Ellen's team, they're actually making a freaking goddamn map because they aren't morons. Though also importantly, they're finding a lot of treasure chests. A suspiciously high number of treasure chests. Don't. Absolutely don't trust her. She got bribed, man. She got 100% bribed. Oh, seriously, that was literally all it took to find out all the information she needed on the labyrinth. In her defense, it is really, really good cake. Like the best cake you can get in this entire world. Molly is good at this. Molly is very, very good at this. God, I love him. Yep, Masayuki's already on the 3rd floor, and it's been like 10 minutes or something. Turns out his unbelievably good luck also leads him to pitfalls. God, I love that man. And down they go again. Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, not bad fall from Masayuki, who is in no way athletic, but I love Jinrei catching her. Oh, that was so cute, seriously. Oh, that was adorable. Amazing. Yeah, that's an interesting thing, because basically Rimuru gave Masayuki a map of the first 5 floors, but because Rimuru didn't know about the pitfalls, Masayuki doesn't know about the pitfalls. So he's just being led to them through the sheer power of his own skill. Huzzah! That's a pretty terrifying monster to encounter, you know, literally as soon as monsters start popping up. That is serious. That is a villain face right there. That is 100% a villain face. Yeah, even Raphael has no idea. He's basically just being led purely by his own greed. Yeah, as you might imagine, nobody's actually getting to 100th floor because why in God's name would they? This is a freaking huge labyrinth. No one's getting down 100 floors in 3 freaking hours. Unfortunately, well, people explain that to Valdora, but he just wasn't really paying attention, so he's just still waiting for someone to actually show up and fight him. God, that's sad. Yeah, and these idiots right here, ironic that Team Great Lightning keeps getting electrocuted, they are doing absolutely nothing to defend themselves from any of the dangers of the labyrinth. They aren't checking for trapped treasure chests. They aren't mapping things out. They're basically just going in this fully and completely blind. Oh, that is a big, big change. Okay, are they going back in? Okay, alright, so yeah, that's interesting. I thought they were just like fully wrapping their story up right here, which would make no sense because there's still a lot more they need to do this episode. But yes, staying back to the beginning, interesting. Very, very interesting. Good freaking lord. Someone shut that man up, seriously. He has a script. He has to read off a script. Come on, that's a little mean to Masayuki. This is a man who would have fully memorized every word of this. I mean, in the light novel it was said that they actually are fairly good actors and are able to really sell it fairly well. Make it seem like this whole thing is actually genuine and not, you know, a total and complete con. That's a pretty impressive icicle shot. I mean, seriously, think back to, how strong Ellen was, episode, like 4 or 5, when Rimuru first met her, she could get, like, one of those shots out at once. It was Rimuru was able to basically take in the magic and use it as a shotgun to take on Ifrit. God, that man just keeps getting hit. I love it. There we go. There's the treasure. Oh, that is a nice looking sword right there. Oh, Tempest sword. Very nice. Yeah, that's a full-on unique item. So, yeah, that's kind of weird. There's no way a unique item should have spawned, especially this high in the labyrinth. Yeah, alright, they got their super rare unique sword. They're good. They're just gonna head out now. Yeah, here we go. Right here. This is the entire purpose for all of this. It's advertising. It's selling up the dungeon. And they absolutely did that. Now, the chances of anyone actually going in and finding themselves a unique class sword like that as easily are 0. Literally 0, but still. It sells them on the idea of that happening to them. Oh, mama, that's a big spider right there. Holy mother of God. This is just floor 10, by the way. This is the weakest boss in this entire labyrinth. There we go. Yeah, 1 hit. Literally 1 hit was all it took to take it out. And of course he gets a gold chest for that. And of course he's gonna have something insane in it. Oh. Interesting. What did Masayuki... did I make a note of that? I didn't. I don't remember what he actually got from the treasure chest. Looks like a Tempest dagger, though. Similar to the Tempest sword that Ellen's party got. Oh, this is gonna be fun, because Guy is there, but the boss is not. Yeah, sorry man, your timing just kinda sucked. Yeah, sorry man, you're just 15 minutes late. Oh, there absolutely is. Yes, she 100% does. Oh, that is beautiful. Yeah, important to mention, while she isn't as strong as Trainee or her sisters, she's still a goddamn dryad, an A-rank monster, and a serious threat. And very sadistic as she's moving the pain reduction effect. Important to mention, light novel, this was the result of a guy insulting the master of the labyrinth. Either Rimuru, or Ramurus, not sure exactly who, but either way, it royally ticked her off. Oh, God. Oh, I love that. I gotta watch that again. Oh, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Oh, it reminds me of the shot from the first episode of Elusive Samurai. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, he's a little bit traumatized from, the experience of feeling his head get cut off. God. I love this. I really do. I was kind of worried they wouldn't include Team Great Lightning because they aren't super relevant to the story, but they are just really amping up how pathetic these guys are. Okay, they actually did cut out something interesting, something relevant, something fairly important right here. Basically, Team Great Lightning, when they actually had to fight against monsters, they got super serious, and Brimmer realized, okay, I may have overestimated the strength of adventurers, and what's more, when some of their companions fell in battle, when they died, Team Great Lightning lost it, wailing, 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 no, only to be, teleported back to the surface and find their dead companions just standing there waiting for them. Oh, it was a great moment. I loved it. Yeah, very near future. Like all thing Rumor says, like in 3 or 4 days. I mean, there's definitely things they want to change, but nothing, too drastic. Yeah, if you defeat the freaking Storm Dragon, then you can face off against me, a slime. Feel honored. Again, they have a whole nother spear tuna. Like, how many of these things did they catch? Or are they still working through the same first one for the last 3 days? I don't know. I do love Momiji working with her father, though. That's adorable. Oh, God. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool right there. Ooh, Luminous is being very flirty with Hinata. I like that. And Rimuru is a hard partying drunk. Amazing. Oh, very cool. That's, I forget what it's called, the Elf Lounge or whatever. It's on the 95th floor of the Labyrinth, and it's a very exclusive place that only the cream of the crop are allowed to visit. Nobles, royals, things like that. Oh god, Veldora, seriously? Have some decency, man. Chopsticks, seriously. Good lord above. But they're having fun, good for them. That's a giraffe playing the piano. Are you seeing this? A giraffe is playing the piano. Weird. That's a lot of farmland right there. Tempest isn't actually really known for its farms. That's why they have, Fulmouth. That's why they were trading with the Beast Nation. Interesting. Yeah, you gotta deal with your debts, man. Oh, that'll be fun. I'm assuming that's next episode? How much time? Yeah, that's next episode, alright. Next episode after the festival. Alright, that's just gonna be the wrap-up, dealing with the merchants, dealing with royals, nobles, dealing just with everything they need to deal with following the festival. Looking forward to that one. A good end for the season. Alright, so this episode, though, loved it. Loved the Labyrinth. I'm glad they really spent the time showing how the Labyrinth works, how it functions, and just setting us up for next season when the Labyrinth will play a much bigger role. Seriously, that's going to be amazing. I cannot wait for that. Love the parties. I love that guy suffered, got his head cut off, and lost all the goods that he'd, found throughout the labyrinth. Seriously, he opened like 20 silver chests. There must have been a lot of goods in there. Nothing rare class, but still, a lot of goods. All of which he just lost. God, you suck. Meanwhile, Ellen's party got very far thanks to copious bribes to Romulus and Veldora. Because of course they did. And Masayuki's party got very far thanks to just pure dumb luck. While Team Great Lightning basically just suffered the entire time. Oh, it was amazing. Absolutely loved it. And that's where I will end my discussion on this episode. Let's start up episode 24. That's not a bad offer either, seriously. I know, the Council of the West says all transactions must take place with dwarven coins, but no merchant actually holds that. They all agree to barter or accept this or that in exchange instead. These guys are just being jerks because someone paid them off. That dude, right there. That's the guy that Elmesia warned Rimmer about. Oh, someone's gonna show up on the last day to offer to fix all your problems for you. And in exchange, you'll owe them a huge, insanely massive debt that they will use to try and control you. Yeah, it's also weirdly mentioned in the light novel that the Duke went out of his way to say Molly's name, because apparently often royals will pretend that they don't know the names of important commoners to make themselves seem more important, which is so insane, but I guess it's some weird power thing. It makes sense. Also, while he's called a Duke throughout this whole thing, he's also referred to as a prince, so I guess he was someone in line for the throne who became a duke instead? I'm not sure if that was just a translation thing or what's going on. Yeah. Okay, merchants, now you're dealing with a god-dang demon lord. Try to keep that same arrogant attitude. Yeah. Not part of your plan, Duke. Absolutely not part of your plan for Rimuru himself to show up. Though he's managing to keep a fairly calm demeanor, even despite all this. Merchants who aren't actually, your merchants. They don't belong to your nation, and suddenly they all decided to come to you for some reason. That seems, a little suspicious. Is that a picture of the tree Rimuru was just at the end of last episode right there? I mean, that is where he met Shizue. That's where he looks out over the town. That's a very interesting piece of artwork. I like that. I actually like that on my wall. Interesting. That is absolutely not true. Merchants are willing to accept almost anything so long as it has value. Molly's doing a very good job seeming way more terrified and nervous than he actually is. He is a very good actor. And there it is. There's the offer. Yeah, this wasn't just an offer. He was pretty much guaranteed, if you do this, if you succeed at this task, we will make you one of the 5 elders. We'll basically put you in charge of the entire goddamn world. An absolutely insane offer. Yeah, Rimmer is done playing. He's like, alright, it's time to show off what I actually have. And that is goddamn freaking Geld walking in with a mountain of dwarven coins. Oh, that is beautiful. Yeah, he literally just said, oh, did you counterfeit these coins? Did you commit a massive crime? Did you commit massive fraud? That is an insane thing to accuse him of. Yeah, Benimaru, they're right. They're right to be upset because that is hugely insulting. Even though Rimuru was fully planning on counterfeiting dwarven coins. It's also just like a very dumb thing to do because dwarven coins actually have like a serial number on them that can't be faked. Yeah, there are a lot of reporters here who the Duke actually, gathered to get dirt on Rimuru to basically be like, oh, look at what he's doing. He's refusing to pay. And I had to come in here and, set things right, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately for him, most of the reporters in the world are actually currently loyal to Diablo after he saved and enchanted them. So this plan was doomed from the very beginning. Yeah, for the record, the guy that... Oh, those are shiny. That dude's not even a real merchant. He's someone who works for the Duke, and his plan was to basically be like, oh, well, no, these coins are fake, or slip in some fake coins or whatever, but he can't really do that when there are a dozen reporters watching him from the corner. In fact, even in the light novel, the guy even says, in fact, these are some of the earliest coins ever minted. They must go back centuries or even millennia. Which, Elmisha has a lot of really old coins that she never got around to spending. Good for her. Yeah, he's really, really trying to keep calm. Like, alright, well, this didn't go according to plan, but I'll have another chance. I'll be able to win his trust somehow, some way. Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Oh, that is beautiful. Though, for the record, remember it says in the light novel, all of his subordinates are very, very confused because this is part of the plan he didn't actually bother explaining to them. Oh, he is savage. He is a complete and absolute savage, and I love him. Love it. Yeah, what tyranny? He is the king of a nation. He can decide who, does business in his nation and who doesn't. That feels like, very low-level stuff for a king to be in charge of. Yeah, very important. Like, the whole argument is like, well, the Council of the West says you have to pay us in dwarven coins, but Tempest hasn't actually joined the Council of the West yet, and therefore they aren't actually required to follow their rules. Even then he's like, if I can't join the council, I don't really care, so what? I'm already, one of the most powerful people in the entire world. I own my own economic bloc right here. I'm aligned with the Dwarven Nation, the Elf Nation, Malim's various nations. I have goods that nobody else can get, and I'm freaking loaded. So what? If I'm not a member of the Council of the West, I will still basically be controlling the West. I'll still have a huge influence on all the Western nations. Also, I want to get this line right. Something else Rimuru says during this scene is, we've already decided that this land is going to be the center of a vast new economic bloc. Why? Because I wanted it to be. That's tyranny. That is 100% tyranny right there. Meanwhile, the Duke is kind of falling apart because, yeah, he's failed. He has 100% failed. Oh, I love it. Yeah, for real. They're all gonna realize fairly quickly, oh yeah, the Duke was trying to attack, basically to threaten, I'm not even sure if threaten's the right word, he was trying to pressure Rimuru into owing him a favor, basically. Oh, I love Rimuru's faith in him. Oh, another great line. Molly, who you so thoroughly disrespected, has my full and utmost support, even so that I trust all of my nation's finances to him. Like I said, Molly is his bro, 100%. Oh, that smile. Oh, I love that smile. Yeah, that's a real demon right there. Oh, I love that. Oh, it's a train. Oh my god, a model train. They actually built it. I mean, I saw it in the other, during the conference, whatever, but it's so cool. I love model trains so much. I actually have a Lego model train in my room back home. It is so cool. But anyway, yeah, a train existing right now, even as a model, is a bit weird, right? It's a bit weird in the timeline of the series because they shouldn't actually be able to build one until they get all of the manpower they need to actually put this thing together. In fact, a big element of the Tempest Festival is recruiting the people they need to actually make the train. The Overcomers from, Lubelius' nation, the vampires, and the magical sorcerers from Thalion. There we go. There we go. God, I love Molly so much. Absolutely. He really learned a lesson from Elmisha right there. As he basically took the situation of him being pressured into, owing someone a favor and turned it around into other people being pressured into owing him a favor. That's brilliant. That is 100% brilliant right there. Oh, that smile right there. That is precious. Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, the big plan is basically to tell these merchants, yeah, I'm never going to let you work my land ever again, and then leave, at which point the merchants go to Molly and beg him for help, beg him to change Rimmer's mind. He's like, oh, well, he is a hard-headed and determined demon lord, but maybe I can change his mind. Maybe I can turn things around here. At which point those merchants will be fully and completely loyal to Molly for the rest of their lives and will be very much determined to make sure they never tick off Rimuru again. Brilliant plan. Yeah, right there. Gazelle is the one who's gonna, speak up first. Oh. That is so overwhelmingly vague. It has been an insane 3 days, and that can refer to literally anything. Yeah, seriously. Again, like I mentioned this in this same video earlier on, like, the projectors were also being used for the entire tournament, so it's weird that Gazelle reacted so strongly to them being used, in the dungeon. I do know, for this exact moment here, though, to emphasize, like, oh, these are actually, like, usable as a weapon of war, essentially. Yeah, seriously. I mean, like, seriously, any general from, like, the 1850s back would have probably offered up their left leg for the chance to have this kind of technology. The ability to see the entire battlefield without actually needing to put themselves in danger, without actually needing to put themselves on the front lines. That would have been a complete and absolute game changer and would have made them almost unbeatable. Yeah, seriously. I mean, honestly, that is not Rimru's fault. That is Vester's fault. Vester is arguably a spy for Gazelle. It's his job to report back on anything insane or crazy that Rimuru does. In fact, there's one point in there's a short story way in the future where Vester sees Rimuru do something absolutely freaking insane, and it's so crazy that he doesn't even want to report it back to Gazelle because he knows nobody will actually believe him. Yeah, Elle. She just referred to as the Supreme Empress of Thalion as Elle. God, I love this girl. Yeah, even though, Elmisha is way older than her, these two really act more like sisters, and it's kind of adorable. In fact, after this, Errol actually stands up, turns to the Magus Knights, and says, "You are all forbidden from telling anyone how the Empress acts around my daughter. Consider it a state secret." That is so much more complicated than you're making it sound. Seriously. In fact, that was the whole thing that happened with What's-His-Name and Vester. They were trying to basically do that exact same thing to create their Magi soldiers, whatever it was. And the plan failed spectacularly because they fundamentally misunderstood how spirit magic works. Yeah, like I said, very complicated, and Gazelle knows that because he has fully failed to actually accomplish this. Yeah, like I said, this is a recruiting effort. He got the vampires, now he's getting the magic science specialists. Those are the people he needs to actually build this freaking train. Yeah, she's doing all of this just because she really wants some of the, daily life improvements that are in Tempest. Running water, flushing toilets, heated sinks, whatever. And just poor Errol is forced to make it happen. Yeah, joint research, that's a big thing in the next volume. Very excited for that. Yeah, Momiji, they kind of still need her permission to make the freaking tunnels. God, she is so precious. And again, I do like they make her seem way older than she looks in the light novel. I love, seriously, the word tunnel was so absolutely foreign to them when we tried to explain it. They actually had to make a full model to show off this is how a tunnel works. I'm sure that was really super helpful for all of them. In fact, there's another series I was reading, Death Mage, where he tries to explain things to everyone, through a map that he draws up. And all the monsters are so confused. So he basically just needs to to create golems, create a whole 3D map on the ground. And everyone's like, oh, now I get it! Yeah, there we go. Rimuru, that is an insane thing to agree to. He is literally the leader of your military, and you want to, for lack of a better term, sell him out so that you can, get this get this train built through the mountain. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Also, woefully unqualified for the job. Yeah, alright, so... Oh, that is precious. I love her. So yeah, that was an insane plan, and instead they compromised and agreed, okay, so instead of supervising, he'll just come and check up on the project every now and again. Oh, Hakura is so proud of his daughter. I love him. Oh, her plan was the compromise. Interesting. Especially because Rimuru almost agreed to the regular plan. Seriously, how insane would that be if you're like, alright, well, they're obviously going to reject this offer, but that's when I bring out the backup offers. Like, oh no, they fully agreed to the first offer right away. In fact, they jumped at it. Smart girl, love her. Yeah, seriously, he's still calling Rimuru master, even though he's king. Human and monster co-prosperity sphere. I prefer in light novel. It's the Monster and Man Cooperative Alliance. That sounds so much better. Oh, seriously. I don't like how that sounds in the anime. Holy mother, I love that. That I like. That I like right there. Like, seriously, I expect that to transform into a giant fighting robot. And I genuinely would not be surprised if it did. That's just the kind of series this is. Oh, that's nice. That is so freaking fancy. Alright, so yeah, Rimuru is that supposed to be Geld right there? I think it is. So Rimuru is looking forward into the future, seeing what's coming down the road, the Monster and Man Alliance. How far everything will eventually go. I love it. Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, they literally owe their lives to Rimuru. You know, when they met, Yom was a mercenary literally sent out to die, whereas Murian was, you know, a spy who absolutely betrayed them and who was, you know, a second away from claiming crushing her own heart. So, yeah, Rimuru really turned things around. And for now, Rimuru's main plan is for them to focus on agriculture, because, like I said before, Tempest, not really all that great at growing crops. The wooden land for that, the wooded, foresty land around the city, it just doesn't really grow crops all that well, at least not in the numbers they need to actually feed everyone in Tempest. So having, you know, Farminus, whatever they're calling it now, focus on that. Great, that works out really well for them. Yeah, not an issue. She is way more blunt about that in the light novel, saying basically, Diablo has coerced our nobles into doing whatever we want. And she needs to, like, keep correcting herself when she makes it sound too terrifying, like, Diablo has convinced them not to do whatever we want. Oh, actually, I just remembered something they cut out before. When Rimuru was talking about, you know, building a train to the Elf Nation, Errol was supposed to step up and say, oh, well, our workers are going to work with your guys, so that way they can learn from them. That was a big thing when Elmisha was talking to Errol before. She's like, oh, you failed to consider expertise. If we had agreed to work with Rimuru to build this road between our nations, then we would be able to learn from him. We'd be able to, you know, take all the skills and techniques that he has mastered, that his people have mastered, and bring them into our own nation. That was Errol's mistake, which he actually learned from. Yay! Yeah, the train, really important right here, as, you know, because Falmus is going to be an agricultural, you know, hotspot, they need to be able to transport food very, very quickly, as things are currently, you know, when you grow crops, there's only so far you can actually send them before they start to rot. But if you're able to build a train and send them, you know, anywhere on the map, that lets you sell them to a much larger group of people and allows you to, you know, grow more crops and sell more crops. Huzzah! Oh, Yom, completely and absolutely freaking out. I love it. Also, I think this line, remember, was said about, cargo that took a week will arrive in 3 hours. The reference is something, because in the light novel, Masayuki, Yuki, and Hinata, who are all at this meeting, all reacted to it as if it was some reference that only they understood. Yeah, really. Blumend is a very, very small nation, and they are surrounded, in this conference by literal freaking giants. I love this interaction so much, because Fuse is interacting this noble who was speaking on behalf of the king and queen of Blumend, who are also present here. It is such a weird back and forth, and I love it. Yeah, he pretty much sums it up fairly well. Basically, Blumend will be a logistic hotspot, seeing what every nation has, seeing what other nations need, and distributing the goods as required. Yeah, seriously, Rimuru just basically said, if you guys don't want to do any work at all, I'll still pay you a tax on all the goods that flows through Blumend. I'll still pay you a massive fortune, more than your country has ever seen before, just to sit around and do nothing. But Blumend isn't that lazy. They want to be, part of this. They want to take the future by the hands and become an economic powerhouse. Yeah, Valdora is still mad that nobody came to challenge him in the labyrinth. Because you built a whole 100 floors for it. That's a lot of floors. Exactly. So, basically the plan moving forward is to have nobles hire teams of adventurers to dive into these labyrinths and get the rare, unique, super awesome treasure for them. That way the nobles can, hang on the wall and say, oh yes, my team managed to find that for me. And while their teams are doing it, the nobles will live it up in Tempest, enjoying all the luxuries they can. It is such an absolutely insane system, and I love it. Yeah, Molly is a true merchant. Yeah, that's a very, very important point right now, because what Rimuru has basically done is kind of make the guild obsolete. Yeah, exactly. So basically, now adventurers can't really go into the forest and kill monsters, because those monsters belong to Rimuru, and the monsters are unlikely to start, going out and attacking people because they're under, the orders of Rimuru. So yeah, adventurers won't really have much to do. I mean, there's still going to be the rogue monster, demon, whatever. But for the most part, things are really going to quiet down for them, and it's going to be a job that, let's say, goes from requiring 1,000 people to 100 people. That is a lot of adventurers, very strong, capable people, who can now no longer work at the job they've spent their entire lives doing, and that right there is how you get bandits! Yay!
私もいいかしら。どうぞ。
Yeah, Rimuru is always nervous when Hinata steps up.
確かにここのダンジョンは腕を磨くのにはもってこいよ。でも死なないことになれると危機意識が低下して。
That is also a very good point. Basically, she's worried that, if everyone, gets used to fighting in a place where they never have to worry about dying, then when it comes to facing real challenges where they could actually die, they'll be lax. They won't fight as hard as they normally would. They'll get themselves killed doing something stupid.
まあ、それは確かに。そこで提案。 西方正教会から司祭を派遣して
Yeah, I don't really understand how this suggestion actually changes anything. It's basically her saying, like, I'm going to send some priests to go train the labyrinth. That way, you know, they get stronger and more skilled. And if you let me do that, I'll stop complaining. Absolutely insane.
それも行為
Yeah, priests are very, very rare. They're basically the only people in the church who can actually perform like the true miracles, like reviving the dead or whatnot.
告信仰と恩寵の費用を完全なものとする上でも秘匿された神聖魔法を
Yeah,
解析し
exactly. So Rimmeru's ability to use holy magic kind of requires him to watch other people use holy magic. So if he's able to, you know, send them into Labyrinth, Raphael will be able to analyze them, and then he'll be able to figure out the secret of faith and grace way, way more quickly.
非常に有効であると考えます攻略させたいんだけど
It's pretty good training, gotta
いい
say.
かしらベル
貴様らが100階にたどり着くのを我は楽しみに待っておるからな
Yeah, that's, seriously, Hinata just basically told them to go fight Veldora. Even if they can't die, that's not going to be a pleasant experience for them. We're doomed. Yeah, exactly.
先ほどの提案を検討してみたいと思います
Yeah, sorry, Duke. You're done. You're absolutely and completely done. I do feel like it's important to mention the Duke isn't actually like a terrible, awful person. He's not going around kicking puppies or anything. In fact, he was really moved by the entire Tempest Festival. He just let his greed get the better of him. Love it.
やはり失敗したのよ
And Light Novel even says, like, oh, if I go, I'm gonna lose. If I go back home, if I report this to, you know, the Roso family, I'm gonna lose all my fortune and might even be purged. But then he says, like, yeah, even knowing that, I can't not go back because nothing escapes the eyes of the Roso family.
おじい様
そうだねマリアベル私があの国を潰すのが惜しいと思ってしまったばかりに
それは
Yeah, believe it or not, Grandpa Roso is the apparently kinder of the bunch. He still believed that there was some potential in Tempest and didn't want to see it completely and utterly destroyed. Whereas Maribel's like, yeah, let's burn it all to the ground.
私も見たわ聞いたわそして感じたの
Yeah, she was here for the entire thing. She was a part of this entire freaking festival, just sitting there in the background.
だからこそ滅ぼすべきだったこの手につかむもの
God dang.
この世は我らロッツォ一族のもの
そうだね
This is one creepy little girl right here, gotta say.
お前に全てを任せよう
So yeah, that's basically setting her up as the next big bad for next season. It's though I find it weird that they had that in like the middle of the episode. I mean, near the end, but still, that's like where the light novel ends with her declaring, "I am Maribel. I am greed. I wish for everything and I take it all. The world belongs to the Roso family."
認めているが出入りする者たちは国家である我が国は取引相手としては割に合わないのでしょう大臣が自分で言うかね
私の
Oh, I love that. Seriously. Oh, they're funny.
半身よね
当
Yeah,
然です
seriously. Nobody actually trades with the Elf Nation, at least not directly.
依頼品は全て中央で管理し
西方正教会いえルベリウスは東の商人たち
Yeah, seriously, that's Hinata right there. Like, everyone else is like, yeah, they're a threat, but you know, there's probably some good merchants in there as well, so we can't just stop dealing with any of them. Whereas Hinata's like, yeah, no, the merchants tricked me once, and now I'm done with their entire freaking nation. They're dead to me.
を全面停止にしたわえなんでなんで走帰りたくないわじゃあ今日一緒に寝ましょう
God, I love these two. They are so precious together.
エレンちゃんなんてことを
Oh, I love Harold. The funny thing though, a lot of merchants, nobles and royals and all that didn't actually leave Tempest when the festival ended because there was such awful traffic going all the way to Blummin, Dwargon, everywhere. So they just stuck it out like, yeah, we'll hang out for a few more days and then have a more leisurely ride back home down the road. Huzzah! Which honestly is pretty much what I do when it comes to leaving any crowded area, concerts, comedy show, whatever. I just wait for people to actually leave so I can just, go about my own pace rather than being crushed and knocked back and forth.
これで間違いないな。クレイマンの言っていたあの方というのは
Oh, I love that transition right there. Going from Yuki laughing with everyone to Rimuru saying, alright, so Yuki is our enemy. We're all in agreement about that, right?
だろうな。
Yeah, I mean, Rimuru has suspected it for a while, but now he's absolutely confirmed it.
私もそう考えます。
アダルマンの前でもその姿をあらわにしていたらしい。
Yeah, that looks like the clowns to me. Seriously, they're barely even disguising themselves.
していたらしい。
中央道家連と東の商人。
物証がない以上。
Yeah, really. I mean, I know there's something a lot of people always get ticked off about online, like, oh, Yuki is such a villain, Rimuru should, stop him. He's like this very minute Rimuru should go over there and kick his butt. And it's like, yeah, I mean, he could, but that'd also mean making an enemy out of the Free Guild, one of the largest and most powerful organizations in the West, as well as the Eastern Empire, who Yuki apparently has connections to. So, yeah, that'd be a very, very bad idea. And I mean, right now, yeah, like Rimuru says, Yuki's giving them the runaround. Yuki isn't actually doing anything all that antagonistic to them. So it's best just to, hold off, wait, and just see what Yuki actually does next.
されたらおしまいだ。何より俺の勘違いって可能性もないとは言えない。はい。その可能性。
Yeah, really. Another part of it is the fact that Rimuru really does actually like Yuki and doesn't want him to be the bad guy. Doesn't want him to be his enemy. He wants to be friends with him. He's someone Rimuru can actually really get along well with.
極小であると推測します。推測。こうして。
That's interesting. I mean, I don't really like that because it's very specifically said that Gazelle didn't take the Pegasus squad to Tempest. One, because they're a secret, and two, because he had so much to bring. Clothes, ministers, all that stuff. So he had like several very large carriages worth of it.
こうして開国祭は終わった。
I do still love the dragon, seriously. I love her just getting carried around by this giant dragon. That is so cool.
で開国祭は終わった。テンペストに西方諸国協議会からの手紙が届くのはこの1ヶ月後のことである。
There we go. That's actually how the light novel ends. 1 month later, a letter arrived in Tempest from the Council of the West. That's actually really cool. That leads to the next arc, the next big thing, which is Tempest being invited to, go talk to the Council of the West and make their argument for why they should be a part of it. It is such a great event, seriously. It made me laugh, it gave me chills, it made me smile so much. It's amazing. It is so amazing. Definitely one of the things I'm most excited about for next season, which, like I said, already confirmed, we are getting season 4, we are getting another movie. And given how much the movie characters appeared in this season, or in the festival at least, I do expect that to have a big role. Not a big role, but a convergence somewhat with the 4th season. Like, I expect characters from the movie to appear in the 4th season is basically what I'm saying. But, alright. So, this episode, it was fun. I loved seeing Rimuru basically spank this dude and his merchants. I love the little model train that's going on to this whole long meeting with everyone as they decide what to do, where they're going moving forward, and what their connection with Tempest is going to be. That was fun. That was amazing. And also just makes so much sense for a season full of meetings to basically just be a very, very long meeting. Seriously. Alright, so overall, this season, I'll fully admit the first half wasn't particularly great. It felt very slow, which I was expecting, just knowing how the story is. But at the same time, I don't know, it just felt like it took so much longer than it needed to get to Hinata facing off against Rimuru. I would have really liked if, they had that battle, even just like an episode or 2 earlier. That would have really changed things up. As for the second half, though, that just felt so different. Like, the very first episode after the Hinata battle was all wrapped up, when Rimuru went to go talk to Molly, you could see a difference. You could see that there was more life to the characters and the way they moved, the way they talked, the way they interacted. It felt alive in a way I hadn't really seen in the first half. And this, second half of the season has kind of, followed suit. The battles, the few battles we have gotten, were fun, engaging, well animated. I love that. I think maybe there was just like more budget to, even then. I was gonna say, the second season had more budget because there was less fighting, but I mean, the first season was like, the first half of the season was like all meetings anyway until we got to like the last 3 episodes. I can't imagine the budget went entirely to those. That'd be completely insane. So I don't know. I really don't know what they were thinking when they made this season. Again, I don't hate it like the first half. Love the second half, but just, I don't know. Felt like some very weird choices were made. But please let me think about all this down below. What'd you think of this season of meetings? What was your favorite part? Did you like the first half? Did you like the second half? What'd you think of these last 2 episodes? What'd you think of the labyrinth, the dungeon? I absolutely loved it. I can't wait for next season when they really go more into depth. There's seriously like a whole Q&A bug tester thing going on for a bit with Rimuru and his gang that is just so fun to watch as they're like, we should change this, we should do this, we should do this. It's fun. It's so fun, and I love to see it. And just what are your thoughts, and what do you think is going to happen next? I've been talking for a very long time. This is why I don't usually do, reactions to 2 episodes at once, because it is freaking exhausting and I am tired and I should probably have some dinner. But I love you all so much, and until next time, which by the way will be Arthretta Season 3. So excited to cover it. Already started reading the light novel to catch myself up on everything that happens for this season. It's seriously, the start is one of my favorite arcs in this entire series. And I am very curious exactly what they're going to cover, because if I remember correctly, the anime is going to be like 16 episodes, which feels very, very weird. Like normally an anime is 12 episodes or 24, but 16. That gives them the opportunity to either cover 2 volumes light novel or 4 volumes light novel, which, alright, that's a topic for a whole other day, but please let me think all this down below. And until next time, peace!